what's up? I'm Christy with AppSumo, and today we are back at it with another webinar, and there are over 250 of you registered for this webinar, so it's going to be popping. So today I'm joined by Casey from Bookafy, which is hello, Casey, welcome.
Thank you.
So in case you don't know, Bookafy is a beautifully designed booking software that is on AppSumo right now, and it is only $39, which is an amazing price. And Casey is going to show you exactly how it works. But before we get into the demo, I wanted to tell you a little bit about how this webinar works. So if you've never seen one of our webinars before, right now you're seeing Casey and myself. But in a minute, I'm going to kick it on over to him, and he's going to take you through a demo of Bookafy. If you have any questions during the demo, I want you to use the chat box to go ahead and ask your question, and then we're going to answer all of the questions at the end. Speaking of the end, if you cannot make it through the entire webinar, don't worry, because there will be a replay that you can request, and we will send you a link to the video. All right, so we're thinking this probably will last anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how many questions you guys have. And if, without further ado, Casey, I'm just going to get right into it and ask you, why did you start Bookafy?
Yeah, I was working for a different company, and we started wanting to streamline our own scheduling. So we started building this for ourselves, and as it got better and was working well for our company, we decided to let friends share it, and then that has grown, and now we have lots of people all over the world that are using the software. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
the best ideas come out of like problems that you need to solve for yourself, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's your own itch. I guess that's the idea.
Good. So I'm going to turn off my camera and mic now, and I'm going to let Casey take over. So I will be back at the end to help facilitate some of those questions. All right.
Okay.
So Casey,
cool.
It's all you.
So do we want to go through the questions as they come in, or do we, how do you?
Yeah, so we'll answer all of them at the end usually. It's just easier. We'll let you kind of go through your flow of the demo, and then we'll answer the questions at the end.
Cool.
Awesome. Okay, it's all you.
Yeah, cool. So can everyone see my screen? Does that look okay? Yep. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're on the settings page right now. This is the dashboard. When you first create an account, it takes you to the calendar page, and then from there you can go to settings, which we are here, and let's go back. And so on this page there's a lot of different options. This one's pretty bland, just asks you for your details. This is your booking page, so you can actually edit your booking page to make it fit your name or your brand, and otherwise it's automatically created with your company name. So then on the booking options, I'm just going to go through some of the settings first, and then we'll show you a few different ways you can use the software. So in the booking options, there's all sorts of ways to customize the experience, from sending requests to the customers to displaying requests for reviews, and then to displaying the reviews, to adding multiple service options. So here's a common feature for solo entrepreneurs, is skipping the staff selection. Or like for us, if you called us, you wouldn't get to choose who you're talking to. You would just go with the first one available. So that's a good option. And then we have other customization, like deciding how far in advance an appointment can be made, when can a reschedule or cancellation happen. So if you have an appointment in 2 hours from now, do you want them to be able to cancel right away, or do you need at least an hour notice or 24-hour notice? The time format, we can change that to work with the people in international markets as well. Booking slot size. So this is just what will appear on your calendar, and I'll get to that again a little bit later. Currency selection. So we are translated into about 22 different languages, and so you can choose which currency you want to collect. Reminder settings. So this is email and SMS reminders. So we send those out with every appointment. So on each appointment, we send a confirmation email, as well as a reminder email and a text reminder. This is a cool feature. The Sumo links seem to like this, the redirect URL. So after a booking is complete, you can actually enter in your URL that you want to send them to. Maybe it's a form, maybe it's a information page, maybe it's just back to your website. So that's an option. Google tracking code. This is really cool. You can add your Facebook pixel or your Google Analytics and track all of your sessions. So this is great if you're doing paid advertising. You want to see if you're actually getting appointments created. So the custom email message, and I'll cover this a little bit more in detail, but you can add email, and this actually can be HTML as well. If you want to add a link or you want to add, you know, a map or something like that, you can do that as well. And this will go on both the confirmation email as well as the reminder email. And there's a few other places you can add text to your emails as well, and I'll get to that next. Okay, so we're through this page, and now I'm going to show you the customized page. So this text can all be customized. You can actually add an HTML. So here you can see we did bold to make this stand out a little bit more. You can display your business hours or not, and I'll show you how this page looks. So if we go to the top left icon, this takes us to our booking page, and you can see right here we show our about us, our hours, and our services, and these can actually be turned off if you don't want to show them. So I'll show you here, and then if we update, go back to the screen, this will not display that stuff anymore. So you'll just have the picture. So this picture is also customizable. So you can add your own photo. This gets a little tricky with the size dimensions, but typically you want to do about 1400 by 800 is pretty normal, which is the dimensions of the screen typically. And if you're having any trouble with this, you can send it to us and we'll take care of it for you. We'll get it uploaded and make it pretty, and we can adjust backgrounds and resize and stuff. So you can also change your accent colors. So you can see here all of our colors are blue, and they're specific blue that matches our website. So you can do that as well. You also change your font to match your website. We use Lotto. And then this is cool for the custom field. So here we have, for us, when you're booking an appointment with us, the main thing we care about is name, email, phone, and number of employees. That helps us kind of decide who you would talk to and gives us a little backdrop and communication. But you can add as many fields, up to 9 fields. So you can add, like, if you want their Skype ID, or if you want, you know, their favorite color, or who they're referred by, or anything like that. That's a good place to add that. So again, up to 9 fields, including name, and email and phone are super important, but name is the only one that will be mandatory. And that's it. So this is the customized tab. Let's see, let's go into the user settings. So here you can add as many users as you want. The AppSumo deal is for 1 user, but of course you can add as many users as you like, and each user has their own settings. So for starters, they all have their own booking page. So if I was going to, so we went from just demo.bookafy to demo.bookafy/Casey, and these are the appointments that only I can be booked for. So this is the link that I use in my email. So if anyone is booking an appointment, or if anyone's getting an email from me saying schedule an appointment, they always go to this page. They're not going to go to a different page that will randomly select some other staff member to work with. So the people I'm working with always get redirected back to me. So that is helpful. Let's see. If you put in your phone number and it's a cell phone, you'll get text reminders. If you don't want text reminders, you can just leave that out. You can decide which appointment types are assigned to each user. You can change availability for each user. So I typically take appointments from 10 to 4, even though I seem to be here earlier and later, but these are my appointment hours. And then you can also have breaks during the day. So I do a break from 12 to 1, theoretically. But you can have multiple breaks. So if you wanted to break up your day so that you're only taking appointments in the morning and afternoon, you could customize this as much as you want. So that's an option. You can also do close dates. So if you wanted to plan a holiday, you could simply, click here, say I'm going to be gone from the 21st to the 29th, and then nobody would be able to book you during that time. So real easy to block out holidays and travel schedules. And then, of course, you can sync with all of these different calendars. So personally, I use, on my desktop, I actually use Outlook desktop, and then I use a connection from Outlook to Google, and then I connect Bookafy with Google. So if you're in that boat and you're using just a normal desktop Outlook like this, and you want to connect it, you can actually send me an email, and I'll send you a cool little widget. It's not our widget, but it's a widget I use. You can see it's right here, and this connects automatically Outlook desktop with Google Calendar, so it works great. And I've already shown this to a few Sumolings, and they've been using it and said it works great as well. And so again, this will go from Outlook desktop to Google Calendar, and then Bookafy will do the two-way sync with Google Calendar. So yeah, so that's it for the user settings. And then if we go into appointment types on the left, so these are all of our appointment types. You can see they're broken out into categories. So quick call is a category, and call with Bookafy is an appointment type. So you can edit the names of categories. When you first start out, it'll say quick call, something like this, and maybe I think it says meeting. So you can just delete those and start over, or you can just edit them. But if you want to edit, you click the edit button, and this would delete the quick call from your screen. And you can rename it whatever works for you, like book a consultation, or free meeting, or whatever you want to do. And then your appointment type. So here's an example of an appointment type. It's called Call with Bookafy, and you can see how it shows up on the screen here. Call with Bookafy. There's the category. Here's the appointment type, and you can charge. So these are in dollars. So I could say it's going to cost $45, or for us, of course, we do zero cost phone calls, and you can say how long you want it to be. If you want to add extra text in the email, this is where you do it. You could say that I'm going to call you, and that would go into the email, right? And you can also put a location on your phone. Okay. And that would go into the email as well. And one other setting, this is cool, the buffer time. So this is super popular with salespeople and counselors and business coaches, is that they may have a 30-minute meeting, but maybe they want a 15-minute buffer because the appointments typically go later than 30 minutes. And so you could do that. And you can choose the appointment color if you want. One cool feature is that you can actually use this link specifically for this appointment type. So like if you're adding a button to your website, or you want to link, maybe in your emails, you want to link just to schedule a quick call, you could use this link. And so, and on that point, every category has a link. So here's a link that comes with, we'll go to that page. That is the same page, but it also has a just this category attached to it, right? And so if I went to, let's go to this category. Now we're just going to get free setup and optimization here. So that's it. So that's it for the links. This works really cool. If you want to, like I said, if you want to put a button on your page, you can go to this integrations tab, and here's the text that installs this button on your page. But if you wanted to change the URL to a specific appointment type, you could do it right here. So you could take this URL and put it right here, and then when the pop-up showed up on your page, you just get that one option. So this is really great for call to action on your phone, because you may not want to display all of your appointment types. Maybe you just want to display one appointment type. Yeah, so let's see if there's other settings in the appointment types. Yeah, I think that looks, oh yeah, one other thing I want to show you is, so this is what we call our manual start times. So if you had, for instance, this is a good example is like a coffee meeting, right? If you wanted to say, I only do coffee meetings at let's say 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Let's go to 2 p.m. Update. So now when I go to book an appointment, you'll see, you can pretend this is a coffee meeting, it says quick call. You'll see now these appointments are only available at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. So this is great if you're doing like sales calls, if you just want to have them, back to back to back and not have them spread out throughout the day, or new customer orientations, or coffee meetings or lunch meetings, something like that. So you could have a lunch meeting just at 12 o'clock, a few different options there. So that is that. I'm going to change this back because we do these all day. And okay, and so the next thing I'll show you is classes. So we have a couple of test cases in here. So this is, we'll make a new class, Sumoing class. You can put this description here. I can't type today, sorry. You can put this description here and it'll go in the email. You can charge for the class or not. You can say the duration of the class, the location, webinar, and the number of seats. We have 250 today, that's good. And then you can add sessions. So you could say that we're gonna do this session on, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, or actually that's the wrong date. Yeah, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, we're doing the session, and then create the class session. So this would allow you to book multiple people with, or multiple customers with one staff member for a class. This works great for art classes, yoga classes, coaching classes where they're trying to get a bunch of people together for the same session. So yeah, a bunch of different options there. And so I'll take you to, and again, the classes, they'll all have, they have a link as well. So you can have a link just for that particular class. So if you wanted to share that with your customers, or you want to share it on your website, you also have a link for all classes, which is handy because if you're doing classes on one side and one-on-one appointments on another, on your website, you may want to have a link for schedule a class, in which case you could use this link here and replace, again, the code on your integrations on your button with the link here. So that works well. Okay, so this is a new feature we just launched a few weeks ago. We actually did this for a big client, an HR client at it's an HR department at a big company. So the idea was to have, it was originally created for panel interviews. And so this is the concept where you'd have maybe a manager and a VP that's emailing one candidate. So we can create an appointment type. And so say this is an enterprise demo and it's both with me and another salesperson. Then I can invite people to this with their email. I can also just provide a link and send it to them via email, or I could put this on my website. So if we had a enterprise account, we could automatically book with 2 people. And so the way this works is it's one customer or one candidate in the case of HR that is meeting with more than one staff member. And what it'll do is it'll look at both staff members' calendars. So let's create a new appointment. Let's see who this one's registered to real quick. Okay, so that's both of us. We'll create a new appointment test for Sumo. Let's see, Sumo. Let's see. And then when you look at the dates, it'll show when they're available. Oh great, this one's not working. It's not changing the date on me. Okay, having a problem here. There looks to be something going on there. I'll have to check on that. And okay, so we'll move on. But what will happen is when it's booking, it'll actually book both calendars. So it'll look at the calendar for the 2 or more people, and it'll only show the availability of both people at the same time. So, and then it'll book them, it'll remind them, and it'll text them, it'll do all that stuff. So that is that. Let me look at a couple more settings. So on the integrations, which we talked about this a little bit. So you can install this button really on any website. So you can put it on a Squarespace site or WordPress or Weebly or Wix or anywhere you want. People have asked about the WordPress, and the plugin's fine, but it's really unnecessary. I mean, I recommend just using this. You can go into any WordPress site and just paste it in, and then you'll get this button. If you want a custom button, we actually will do this for you. So you could have a button that says, you know, schedule a call or book a orientation or get more info or schedule a demo, whatever you want. And so we'll actually go to your website and match your fonts and match your styling of your button, and we can create a new button for you. If you're a designer, you can do it, of course, yourself. And what you do is essentially just replace this button with a link to your own button, and just, of course, change the height and width, and then you could have your own button on your own site. So I'll take you to our page, and we don't have any classes. That's why it says no classes. So on our page, about halfway down, we have a schedule a call button. And so this is obviously not the same as the blue and white button. We went for white and blue instead, and we did schedule a call. So you can, just with a little bit of code, you can just change the image. And again, we'll do this for you, and have your own button that works right on your page. So that is that. If you want to do the iframe, you can. I'm not a huge fan of iframes. One of the issues with it is that you have to preset the height and width, and it doesn't work as great on mobile. So this actually works well on mobile because it'll pop up on the screen and go right to the size of your mobile browser. Whereas this, if you had a width of, say 1200 or something, it just wouldn't work on a mobile. It would stay big. And then, so here the default is 100%, but usually when you're doing an iframe, you're putting it, in a container. So you're saying it's going to go like right here. So it would only be 100% of this size, where your website might be trying to adjust for the entire screen. So in general, the pop-up works better. You can put the button anywhere on your page on any website, and this will automatically work on every device. So it's really great. And but you can use this if you want. Again, you can use the WordPress plugin. It hasn't been updated in a while. People asked about that, and they asked why it hasn't been updated, and mainly just because it hasn't needed to be updated, but it works fine, and you're welcome to use it. So full contact, let's see. So this is cool if you want to get a little intel about your customers before the appointment. You can go in, and so I'll turn that on and go to my calendar. And what it does is we'll take the name and email and phone, and we'll go fetch the social profiles of the customer. And so let's book here. So it'll go fetch all the social profiles with the email and phone number. And so just in a quick click, you can see my Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. That's not Instagram, that's LinkedIn, Twitter, Google Plus, all of my Pinterest account. You can see a lot of intel about me. And this is actually really great for salespeople. For one, you can get a lot of information about what they're doing. And for two, you can connect the dots between who you know and who they know, and and your mutual friends. So this is really handy. So let's go back to integrations, and those links will all show up in the email as well. So when you're getting email reminders and text reminders, there'll be a link there that includes the social profile, so you can do a little intel. And it's actually cool because you can tailor the appointment to the customer. So if they're like a huge influencer on Pinterest or something, maybe, or is that a thing, maybe on Instagram, then you can kind of work your meeting to sort of tailor that, knowing that if it goes well, maybe they'll sponsor you or do something, say something nice and influence other people to work with you. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. So calendar, again, you can integrate with each of these. A lot of people have asked if you can integrate with many of them. And at this moment, we don't integrate with more than one of these. But there's a few hacks to do that. So again, like I showed you that I use the Google to Outlook connector, and then I connect with Google. So that works great. If you have many Google accounts, you can actually sync all those accounts together with like a shared calendar code. Or a shared calendar link, and then you can sync with us and it'll show up. So that works well. Yeah, and I think we'll roll this out in the future to have multiple calendars because it's been requested so much by the Sumo crowd, but it's not available at the moment. MailChimp. So what this will do is it'll just send any new customers to your MailChimp account. You can pick which list it'll go to, and that works cool if you're using MailChimp. Payments. So if you're collecting payments for your services at the time of booking, you can connect with either authorized.net or with Stripe. Stripe is my favorite. You can just create an account in just a couple of minutes and be up and running. Authorized.net is more of a traditional underwriting, so you can actually probably get better pricing here, but you might also get worse pricing. They do the whole credit check and look at the types of services and refund rates and all that. So this is the 3% deal. We don't charge for doing this. We're just integrated, but we don't have any up fee for that. And same with authorized.net. So either option. And what happens is when you go to book, it will at the time when you're filling out all of your information, it will let you choose what credit card you want to use and put in all your details. We don't take payments, so it's not, I can't show you that exactly, but yeah, it works great. So GoToMeeting, so you can sync with GoToMeeting, and what'll happen is on every appointment that is created, you can automatically send a GoToMeeting link and password. And once you connect with GoToMeeting or Zoom, you can go to your appointment type, and then you'd actually turn that on. So it doesn't automatically send it to everybody, but there'll be an extra toggle switch here that says enable Zoom or enable GoToMeeting, and then that specific appointment type will get a link and a password. So yeah, super handy. And so if you're doing like demos, then you could automatically send that. So one hack, I know that people haven't been super stoked with the Zoom integration because it requires a developer account, and the developer account is kind of expensive. So one option you have is in the appointment types, you can actually add your Zoom link. So you can go into this description and you can actually add an HTML link in here. And you can say like meet me using this link, and then add the HTML link, and it'll send it to them right there. So that's a good hack for using Zoom. It doesn't work great in big organizations because this would be for a specific appointment type, but if you're a solo entrepreneur, this works great, or just a couple people that are sharing, it works awesome. So yeah, so that is that. Think of some other settings that might be interesting to you. You can choose your calendar view. So when you first come to the page, do you want to see a weekly page or do you want to see daily? If you have multiple people, you usually want to see daily, but individual, you see weekly. Slot duration. So this isn't the size of the appointments. This is just the size that you'd view it on. So you can see we have 15 minutes durations, but you can set it for a 5-minute duration. So like if you're doing like photography sessions or something, and they're 5-minute sessions, you want a lot of appointments in these screens. Instead of having really small lines, you can have Each of these would be 5 minutes, and so here you can see we have 15. So that is handy. Yeah, speaking of, one other feature that just came up with a question this morning is on the booking slot size. So our appointment types are in 15-minute increments, but you back to the photographer example. So we had a corporate photographer that does, photo shoots out of business in 5-minute increments. And so he wants people to be able to see appointments at 9 o'clock, 9:05, 9:10, 9:15, and so on throughout the day. For the average person, that becomes pretty crazy. For his business, that works great. Some people only want appointments booked on the hour, in which case you can do that. So you can book at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, or you can do half hour, 15 minutes. So it depends on how much availability you want to show, and how many minutes between appointments. So yeah, so that's an option. And lastly, so on the calendar view, there is an option to change the status of the appointments along with the color of the appointments. So we just have these as default to the schedule, arrived, started, complete, no show, canceled. You can delete these, or you can create your own. And how that would work is when you go to the calendar page, you can decide, you can click on each appointment and it'll show you, what the options are for, or what the status is. So if you want to, I think this webinar page is slowing me down here. So I can change the status here to say this person canceled if need be. That way I can go back through and look at my canceled appointments. So yeah. So one other thing I'll show you on the customers tab, you can see all of the people that have booked appointments with you. And so let's just go to me. So you can see I've made a lot of test accounts with myself, but this is cool because you can see all of your appointment history, and you can see the notes that were created in the appointment. So if you guys want to write notes after each appointment, this is a good place to do it. You can see their payment history if you like, what the status was. Yeah, so that is cool. You can also upload all of your customers. So there's an import file. Our importer is not awesome, so if you're having any trouble, you can just send it to me and we'll take care of you and get it uploaded for you. But the benefit of doing that is simply when you, as the admin or the staff, go to code to make an appointment, it'll autofill, so you don't have to re-enter their information. So you can see, I'll use my name as an example, and it'll autofill all my information, so I don't have to type it all in and try to remember the email address. So that is the benefit of that. So yeah, I think we're good. If you guys want to open up into any Q&A.
Casey?
Yes.
You have so many questions to answer.
Uh-oh.
It's all good though. People are excited about it. So I've been keeping tabs on almost all the questions that have come through.
Oh
so
my gosh. There are a lot of questions.
Right? Yeah, no, I've got a lot on my notepad here, but that's okay. We'll answer as many as we can in the time allotted. And then if we don't get to your question, we'll try and answer it via email after. So the first one is the software GDPR compliant? Because that is a hot issue right now.
Yes. And so if you go to the bottom of our page, our main booking page, we have, I think this video is like slowing down my computer. There's a GD. Oh my gosh. Yeah. There's a link that will tell you everything you need to know, and it has the copy of our privacy policy and yeah, everything you'll need to know there. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure my internet is crapping out here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's keep trying, I guess.
Okay.
So Ray would like to know if you have a copy of a public roadmap.
No.
Not currently. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have we change our plans relatively often. I mean, like like if you asked me for the roadmap 2 days ago, it would look a lot different than it looked today, because in the last, since we've launched on AppSumo, we've gotten exactly 3 million, requests for awesome, cool features that we want to include. And so we've been adding those to the roadmap. So it changes quite a bit. But yeah.
Awesome. That's the power of AppSumo and the Sumo links, right?
Right.
All right. So Brian's asking, can we hide or disable the Bookafy booking page? I only want to allow booking for my business website.
Yeah. So if you don't share the calendar, the booking page, it won't. No one's going to find it. It doesn't get searched on Google. So yeah, we have a lot of companies that just use the internal booking that don't actually let their customers book. So yeah, and then you get the benefit of getting the confirmation messages and the reminder emails and all that stuff.
Awesome. So at one point, I'm hearing an echo. Do you guys hear an echo? Or is it just me? It might just be me. Okay. So Jessica's asking, how did you get your button to say something different than book now?
Yeah, so we make those buttons. So if you want something different, and when you sign up, you'll actually get an email from us asking us if you want a custom button. So we'll just make it for you and we'll send back the code. So we just go into, yeah, so let me go back to, where's our page here? Basically what we do is we build a new button like this. We just have our designer person create it, and we can match your site. So what we do is we go in and read your fonts, so you can see we're Lato, and then we match your colors like this, and yeah, and then we build a new page for you. So you can email us and tell us what you want it to say, and then we'll take care of it for you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So David is asking, is there a maximum meeting length? Can it be longer than 60 minutes?
Yeah, for sure. So that's come up a few times recently. So yeah, no, it can be all day if you want it to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So it can be longer. And so someone's asking about the 100 text limit. Is that per month or lifetime?
That's per month.
Okay. And is there an option to refill after that 100?
Yeah, there will be. We actually don't have a limit built in at the moment, but because our average customer has about 50 text messages per month, and some have like 10. So depending on how many appointments are created equals how many texts go out. So it's one text per appointment. So it hasn't been an issue with a single customer, but we got a little worried when people said they wanted to send 6,000 text messages a month to their class attendees, which would cost us an absolute fortune. So we put a limit, though we don't have the functionality to actually do the limit at the moment, but we will hopefully soon.
Okay. So Brandy's saying, I need clients to be able to pay a one-time fee and then book a set number of appointments all at one time. Is that possible?
Not really. So you can kind of hack your way around it, but that's not exactly how ours works. You can't create like an account that the person can have 12 appointments and you need to book, 12 right away. Yeah, it doesn't, unfortunately, we don't quite have that functionality. You can see how many appointments a person's booked in the customer screen, but you can't do exactly what you're asking.
Okay. And so Reza is asking, can the availability be automatically updated based on my Google Calendar?
Yeah, for sure. So anything in Bookafy will, or anything in Google Calendar will block the time in Bookafy, and anything in Bookafy will show up in your Google Calendar.
Awesome. Henry is asking, he says, I operate a concierge laundry and dry cleaning service. Could this be adapted to accept pickup appointments?
Yeah, I suppose. So you can customize the text up here. So you can, instead of saying schedule a call, you could say schedule your pickup, right? And just have it be, instead of a 15-minute window, you could have it be a 5-minute window. So yeah, you could do that. We actually do work with a couple of delivery companies doing something like that.
Awesome. All right. So Anna is asking, do we get a copy of the emails that are sent to clients?
You do. Yeah, you'll get a copy on the confirmation pages as well as the reminders in the text messages.
Perfect. All right. Let's see. We have one person asking, can we get a CNAME custom URL?
No, but that's been asked so many times, and it's on our development plan, I would say. Perfect. I mean, you can definitely forward your link. So every account comes with a link, like ours is demo.bookafy. And so you can forward your URL to that if you wanted them to be, if you want to buy a URL like book an appointment with bookafy.com, you could forward it to demo.bookafy and that would work, but not exactly the way they're asking.
Okay. Daniel's asking, can admins manually book appointments?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So here's to the screen. So you can just click on the calendar and book an appointment.
And then Kathy was asking, can you reschedule appointments on behalf of clients as well?
For sure. So I'll show you how to do that. So let's go. So that's today, 12 o'clock. Create an appointment. So I can then drag and drop the appointment to another appointment time. That's an option. Another option we have is you can actually request to reschedule. You can just delete it. You can edit it in here. Or the request to reschedule is pretty cool. So like if something came up like I may need to reschedule with Rob, I could say, hey, I'm running late, grab a time. I can't type to it, running late. Whatever, you can, and then it'll send him an appointment request. So that's one way to do it. So 3 different ways to do that. And then of course the customer will have the option to cancel or reschedule as well. But if you don't want them to cancel or reschedule via link, you can turn that off. So in the booking options, you can say that you don't want them to, right here, send a link to reschedule. You can turn it on or off if you don't want the customer to be able to reschedule appointments.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So Karen is asking, do you have any training manual or user education videos available?
Yeah, on YouTube, if you Google or search for Bookafy, there's a bunch of videos on there. And we're working on publishing a few more too. Awesome.
Vanessa's asking, what about time zones? Do they automatically default to the users or to mine?
So it's based on the IP address, but if we can't pick up the IP address because it's blocked or whatever, then it'll go to the business's time zone.
Okay. Regis is asking, is there a possibility to add a survey or questions on a page before or after the appointment?
So no. So I mean, we have custom fields, which isn't exactly a survey, but you can ask custom questions. You can also redirect them to a page. So this is pretty popular for, this would be a good use case for redirecting. So after the appointment's booked, you send them to a page that says, hey, your appointment's booked, looking forward to seeing you. Can you fill out this quick survey? So that would be a good use for that.
Perfect. So Henry's also asking, can it generate reports or the data exported to CSV?
We don't really have reports, and it can be exported if you ask us to do it, but we don't have an exporter in here, but we do it as part of our compliance stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Kathy's asking, or Kathy says, I know it integrates with Zoom in creating new meetings, but can you integrate it with Zoom webinars as well?
With which webinar?
Zoom webinars. So there's Zoom meetings and then Zoom webinars.
No, it doesn't integrate with Zoom webinars. I mean, we're working on a massive number of integrations though. So we've got a team of people that are just cranking out integration. So we're hoping to have a bunch of options relatively soon.
Awesome. Regis is also asking, is there a possibility to add Facebook tracking pixel to the meeting booking confirmation page?
Yes, right here. So we're on settings, booking options, and then you can add the tracking code or analytics code right here.
Perfect. Henry's also asking, can we add a checkbox for users to accept our terms and conditions?
No, we don't have that option.
All right. Kathy wants to know if there are any plans for other email marketing integrations like ActiveCampaign or ConvertIt.
Yeah, there's a long list of, well, there's two things. So we're doing a Zapier integration that will be available hopefully in the next like 3 or 4 weeks that has a lot of options, of course. And then we're also working on quite a few direct connects with CRM companies as well, including ActiveCampaign.
Sumolings love integrations. I can't tell you.
Oh my God.
I can't tell you.
I'm excited about it.
So it sounds like you're on the right track. Jessica's asking, how do you customize the height of the pop-up window?
Yeah, there's no customizing, but it does change based on the size of the screen.
Okay. Marla is asking, can I go in and manually add a recurring series of appointments for 12 weeks?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. So the deal, I believe, is for 1 user on AppSumo, right?
Right.
What is the cost to add users? Henry's asking.
$7 per user per month.
Okay. Let's see.
Unless
Jen
we have
wants
a lot of users, and we can, work something out.
make a deal. All right. So Jen is asking, for the payment option, is there a way to accept a gift voucher code?
Not really. So we don't have. No, I mean, you could ask for, like, you could say that you want coupon code here or gift voucher code or something like that, so that you'd have it. Oh, I can't spell. The C and the V are actually right next to each other. I'm not dyslexic. So yeah, you could put it here, but it wouldn't automatically change the way they're paying. But you could request it so that you have it and then charge them that time of service if you want.
Okay. Let's see. Elizabeth says, I saw the option to create recurring appointments, but it's only for daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. Is there a workaround to do every other week?
I'm not sure. Let's see. It looks like she's probably knows the answer. I'm thinking maybe not. Recurring, custom. So you can do like certain days of the month. This would kind of get you through. Yeah, I don't think, not exactly the way she's asking.
Okay. All right. And Jessica would like to know, how do I get my logo to stay after uploading and updating?
Well, that's a good question. So we're working on that. That's been reported. If you send it to us, we can upload it for you. And honestly, the logo doesn't appear much anyway. So you probably don't even need the logo at this point. I mean, the more important photo is getting this photo working, but the logo actually doesn't really appear anywhere. We're going to have it appear in the emails, but it's not appearing anywhere anyway. But
okay.
Yeah.
Karen wants to know, is Bookafy appropriate for hair salons?
Yeah, for sure. We work with a lot of salons. So if usually we're working with smaller salons, I'd say, but and some of the salon specific software allows you to sell things like shampoo, and it's more of a point of sale checkout system. Those are usually quite a bit more expensive too, but this would be kind of a good option for doing what it does, I guess, which is a little more limited than the more robust salon systems. But yeah, for sure.
Okay. And so Chris is asking, do you have an API connection with Aweber, since they're bigger than MailChimp and they have an open API, which would be easy for you guys to integrate with?
I know everything's easy. It's just time and manpower. So right. Yeah, the short answer is no. We also have an open API, and he's welcome to ask them to connect with us if they want. And we, like I mentioned, we have a long list of integrations we're working on, and Aweber is one of them.
Awesome. What about Zapier?
Yeah, that one should be out in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Awesome. You guys are just moving along the track. All right. Elizabeth wants to know if PayPal will ever be an option in the future for payments.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be available. I'm not sure when, but yeah, it's on our list. It's a super gnarly integration. Like it's a lot of effort. So we've been pushing it off because people want things like Aweber and Active Campaign and Zapier and all these other things. So we haven't. Those are a lot easier to do than PayPal. So we're getting to it, but I'm not sure exactly when.
All right. And Helen wants to know if they cancel an appointment that they paid for, is a refund automatically done?
I don't think it is. It's not automatically done.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So it's something they would have to log into their Stripe or Authorize.net account.
Well, they can log into our screen, and then there's a payment page. We don't take payments, so it's hard to show you, but they can refund right from the payment page.
Okay, gotcha.
Right from this customer page.
All right. Dr. Melanie would like to know if this solution is HIPAA certified.
It is, yeah.
Excellent. You know what? John's asking about another integration. How about HubSpot?
Same.
Awesome.
It's on our list.
Okay. So Shahid is saying, I have some events which are scheduled for 30 minutes and some are full day events. If the day event is already booked, does the app avoid booking the 30-minute events on that day?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, let's see. So those are all the questions that I've written down. Let me see some of the ones that have come in since we've been chatting here. We have a few minutes left. So let's see. Hans is saying, I have multiple business lines, different brands. Can Bookafy work with multiple business lines, or do you need separate Bookafy accounts?
Yeah, I mean, you could theoretically, but you'd have to make it pretty vague, right? So we have one business name, so you could call this appointment, and it would come, or maybe some other word that worked for you, but it's not really set up to do that. It's probably better to be on separate accounts, but it's possible if you are flexible, I guess.
Okay. Michael wants to know, do you support 24-hour time format?
We do.
All right. Michael also wants to know, can a customer book a time slot once that will schedule them forever in that specific time?
No, because it would drive you crazy. So that was an option, and it did drive people crazy. And so now the admin can book recurring appointments, but the customers cannot.
Okay. Awesome.
So you could, as an admin, I'll just say you can quickly go into an appointment and make it recurring. It would just take a couple of clicks, and you can make it recurring, perpetually.
Awesome. All right, we have a few minutes left here. Let's see, we already answered that. Looks like we've answered most of the questions. If for those of you who tuned in late or aren't able to stay till the end, although we're almost done here, there will be a replay that you can request. And then in the meantime, we are here doing webinars every Tuesday and Thursday. So I'll be back next Tuesday at 11 a.m. with Fiscal. But Casey, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us. It seems like a lot of people are excited about Bookafy, and it sounds like you have a lot of exciting things on the roadmap.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. And so guys, how can they if they need to customize their button or get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, they can just email info@bookafy.com, and you'll get one of us to respond to you. And of course, you can email me at casey@bookafy.com. That works too. And if you've already signed up, you're probably getting emails from us, so you can just respond to those as well.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great week and a weekend. Casey, take care.
Cool. Thanks. Take care.
Bye.